As we approach the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, it's time to talk about upgrades. The Italian GP was electrifying. Charles Leclerc secured his second win of the season at Ferrari's home turf, executing a brilliant strategy while McLaren lost out on a potential race victory despite having the fastest car on track. Mercedes took a decent step forward in terms of overall performance, while Red Bull were handed a thumping defeat around the Temple of Speed. To continue with this competitive trajectory, teams will be bringing upgrades to Baku, and I'll detail you all the information regarding these said upgrade packages, right from Mercedes and Ferrari down to Williams, so don't go anywhere. Let's start this video with Williams. The Grove-based team enjoyed a good weekend at Monza, as Alex Albon came home P10, scoring a point, while debutant Franco Colapinto managed to get himself into Q2, eventually finishing the race P12. The team brought its first huge aero upgrade package back at Zandvoort, which included a brand new floor and new side pods design. These upgrades were aimed at improving the car's overall load generation while simultaneously improving the car's aerodynamic efficiency. And on-track results suggest that the upgrades have stirred the FW46 in a positive trajectory, which was also confirmed by team principal James Vowles at Monza. And to keep working on this positive development, Williams are en route to introduce further upgrades at Baku. The team, according to several sources, are working on a new front wing design which is expected to make its debut at Azerbaijan, an upgrade which is supposed to work in line with the new underfloor, improving the car's aerodynamic balance further. Talking about the team's Baku prospects, Vowles added, "It's a track where you tend to go with a more unloaded setup, and it's a track that has historically rewarded us in the past. So, by putting all together, we have a chance to score points there as well." Next, let's focus on Ferrari's upgrades. Ferrari enjoyed a delightful weekend at Monza. Charles Leclerc won the team's home race to the fans' delight, with Carlos Sainz coming home in P4, bagging loads of points against rivals Red Bull in the Constructors' Championship. Ferrari came into Monza with a huge upgrade package, which revolved around the car's side pods, underfloor, and diffuser. These upgrades were aimed at eliminating porpoising from the SF24 while unlocking a significant amount of performance as well. And the upgraded SF24 performed as the Ferrari engineers predicted. It had front-running pace both on qualifying and race trims. But an important gain Ferrari made was around the tyre degradation aspect, where to everyone's surprise at Monza this year, Ferrari pulled off a stunning one-stop strategy, while rival teams like McLaren and Red Bull suffered with tyre deg and graining issues. This result at Monza has once again ignited a challenge from Ferrari, making this year's championship a potential three-way fight, as only 39 points cover Red Bull, McLaren and Ferrari in the standings. Yet, Fred Vasseur wrapped all hopes under, as he believes the circuit specifics of Monza did suit Ferrari's car better, contributing more to the results than the upgrades might have suggested. Vasseur also revealed that the SF24 still lacks pace to the MCL38 when it comes to cornering performance, specifically around low-speed corners, which we did hear Leclerc complain a lot about around Monza. So to improve the SF24's cornering performance, Ferrari will be fast-tracking a front-wing upgrade to Baku, which primarily is aimed at improving the car's cornering performance across all corner profiles. Following that, the team will make revisions to the SF24's rear suspension, particularly its internal components. This upgrade is aimed at improving the car's aeromechanical interaction to allow the car's mechanical platform to handle more downforce with improved stability and better distribution, while also aiding in improving the car's low-speed traction to specifically improve the SF24's slow-speed performance. According to Italian sources, the suspension update will arrive at around Austin or hopefully Singapore, and this upgrade is said to have a big importance to the development of Ferrari's 2025 Challenger. Next, let's focus on Mercedes upgrades. The Silver Arrows had a subpar outing at Monza. The team entered the Italian GP on the back foot, having to understand if its Spa floor is delivering performance as expected. While work during practice did depict Mercedes' strong hand, qualifying definitely cementing the improved performance, both Russell and Hamilton fell apart during Sunday's Grand Prix. While Russell's first lap incident didn't do his race any good, Hamilton had no better luck either, as both Mercedes drivers suffered from higher tyre degradation than anticipated, finishing P5 and P7 respectively, on average about 0.3 off both Ferrari and McLaren's pace. Both drivers felt there was more performance available from their car, so Monza's race could be set up specific. But following the post-race data analysis, Andrew Shovlin on the team's latest debrief said that the team needs to determine if there are subtle handling issues they didn't expect, despite the upgrade generating the expected load, due to the W15 once again seemingly suffering from a narrow operating window, possibly. Over the last 3 races, we've done various compares of the packages and principally comparing the floor, and what we are confident in is that it's generating the load that we expect. The more difficult question that we need to answer is there anything subtle in the handling characteristics that this package might be doing that we haven't anticipated? According to close sources to the Brackley-based squad, the team believes there is significant performance to be unlocked from the Spa underfloor, and it could take a weekend or 2 to fully optimize the package's performance. As for the Azerbaijan GP, Mercedes is set to introduce a revised beam wing configuration around the streets of Baku to better optimize the W15's downforce around sectors 1 and 2, while making minimal sacrifices around sector 3 in terms of straight line speed. Next, let's move on to Red Bull's upgrades. Red Bull endured a disappointing weekend at Monza. Entering the weekend, having not won 5 races in a row, Red Bull had high hopes at Monza, banking on the RB20's profound aero efficiency. However, it seems like rival teams have overtaken Red Bull in this aspect as well, with the Austrian squad being outpaced by McLaren, Ferrari, and Mercedes. What's worse is Red Bull Delta on average to the pace setting McLaren's was at a staggering 6 to 7 tenths, on a track which is very fast and has little number of corners, does drop a bombshell on the entire team. Similar to Zandvoort, the RB20 had balance issues and tyre degradation problems, but the team also were compromised by a power unit deficiency during the weekend, according to Max Verstappen. Red Bull's sudden drop in form has spiced up the Constructors' Championship, with McLaren and now Ferrari both capitalising on big points, closing in on Red Bull's advantage. Red Bull seems to have lost their way in aerodynamic development, similar to many other teams, resulting in the team losing the competitive edge they previously enjoyed. So, to sort the RB20's problems and get back to the proper path of successful aerodynamic developments, Red Bull reportedly are shifting focus from the RB21 back onto the RB20. And back at Milton Keynes, the team is working on a brand new underfloor, which will reset the car's aerodynamic load distribution, which favours a better balance over peak load, which should, according to Red Bull engineers, solve the RB20's current oversteer and understeer balance issues. This upgrade, according to original sources, is lined up for Austin, but many insiders are reporting that the team could essentially fast-track bits of this upgrade package to Baku. Next, let's talk about McLaren's upgrades. McLaren enjoyed a subpar weekend at Monza, considering the MCL38 is the current fastest car on the grid. McLaren on track to clinch the Constructors' Championship from Red Bull this season, and to make their odds better, the team has upgrades lined up in the pipeline. Reports revealed that McLaren have a new underfloor in the works, but the team are hesitant to introduce the new floor unless necessary to avoid a possible downwards development spiral. Talking about this in detail, team principal Andrea Stella added, "There's a reason why we haven't brought some upgrades, because we see that, had we pressed the go button, we might have had some doubts when these parts were tested full scale on the real car. So we are taking our time to convince ourselves that the development is mature to be taken trackside." So with all these upgrades, are you excited for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix? We are very much into your thoughts and perspectives in the comments section down below. And on your way down, don't forget to subscribe to the channel to get notified of our future uploads to keep yourselves up to date about the 2024 Formula 1 season.